The teasers dropped. The fandom just went completely
They went
silent.
to absolute shock.
Yeah, in an instant, the entire K-pop world was turned upside down. A beloved 90s visual, someone who was once at the absolute peak of the Hallyu wave, was just spotted washing dishes in a steaming noodle shop. Yeah. Like her savings were completely wiped out.
It's crazy because you see the glitz, the multi-million-dollar red carpets, the perfect comeback stages. But what the cameras never actually capture is the sheer, terrifying drop when those stage lights finally turn off.
Join Eric and Minji as they ride the Hallyu wave, uncovering the biggest K-pop comebacks, shocking industry controversies, and major K-drama updates. From internet-breaking rumors to historic chart milestones, we dive deep into the world of Korean entertainment.
And today, we are going completely behind the curtain.
Yeah, so welcome to today's custom-tailored deep dive just for you. If you've ever watched a K-drama or like a flawless music video and just kind of envied the wealthy, pristine lives on your screen, today's going to completely shatter that illusion.
Totally. I mean, the fairy tale is fake, guys.
Right. We have a massive stack of entertainment reports today from KBZoom, Sports Chosun, Star News, and the Korea Times. Our mission is to really explore the hidden financial ruin of divorced actresses, the toxic trap of marrying billionaires, and the radical way K-netizens are finally changing their tune on what actually constitutes a scandal.
It is a massive shift. But, to understand how we got here, we really have to look at the mechanisms of the industry itself.
Exactly. And I want to start with the headline story, because this viral update that broke the internet today, it just perfectly illustrates the harsh reality when the cameras stop rolling. We are talking about actress Lee Seon-jeong.
Oh, man, yeah. The pictures were just shocking.
Right. If you were following the Hallyu wave back in the 90s, you know her. She was a massive breakout star from the hit NBC sitcom 3 Guys and 3 Girls. She had these striking 170-centimeter visuals. But today, she's wearing an apron, rubber gloves, washing dishes, and carrying heavy pots at her mom's noodle restaurant just to survive.
It's just so jarring to see. I mean, you look at her timeline, right? Back then, she was the ultimate visual for her era. But then we fast forward to 2012.
Yeah, that's when it all shifted.
Exactly. She marries broadcaster LJ after dating for, get this, 45 days.
Wow. Only 45 days.
Yeah, and then they divorce a shocking 4 months later. In fact, they only even lived together for 2.5 months.
That is just a whiplash timeline.
It really is. And the fallout from that sudden divorce triggered a 2-year hiatus from the industry. Which, sounds like a break, but her savings are completely gone now.
Wait, I really want to pause on that because I'm struggling with the math. How does a 2-year hiatus completely wipe out a decade of top-tier television money?
Well, that's, like, the biggest misconception about the wealth in Korean entertainment. A star isn't just a person. They are literally a small business with massive overhead.
Oh, like paying their own teams and stuff.
Exactly. When you're a top actress, you're expected to maintain this incredibly expensive illusion. You have staff, you have stylists, managers, luxury leases, just a very specific high-end lifestyle to fund.
So the money just constantly flows out, even if you aren't working.
Right. The moment you go on hiatus, your income from brand deals drops to zero. But your overhead stays exactly the same. Add legal fees for a divorce and the fact that agencies take a huge cut anyway. A 2-year break doesn't just pause your career, it actively bankrupts you.
So in K-pop, we talk about an all-kill on the charts, right? But isn't this basically the dark side of that? Like an all-kill on your finances and your mental health when the industry just spits you out?
That is such a good way to put it. And the emotional toll is just brutal. I read Lee's confession about her panic disorder, and as a fan, it just broke my heart.
Yeah, the details were really dark.
She said 6 months post-divorce, she couldn't even go to crowded places. She could hear her own heartbeat pounding in her ears. She almost fainted just trying to buy groceries at a supermarket.
Just trying to exist was a struggle.
Yeah, which just shows how isolating the idol experience is. Netizens are in absolute shock right now. But the crazy thing is, she's actually using this for a comeback.
Wait, really? A comeback from the noodle shop?
Yes. She saw friends hitting like 1 or 2 million YouTube subscribers and realized she could just monetize her own reality. So she launched her own channel. She's showing her completely barefaced 48-kilogram daily grind, no agency filters, just raw survival.
That's incredible. Like going from the glamorous 90s red carpet to just a bleak, steaming kitchen sink and owning it.
It is. And honestly, that's not even the wildest part of this comeback trend. Wait until you hear how many other veteran actresses are secretly selling off their designer bags just to survive.
Yeah, because Lee Seon-jeong is definitely not an isolated case.
Yeah.
This feels like a broader, completely hidden epidemic of first-generation stars hitting rock bottom after sudden divorces.
Oh, it's absolutely a systemic issue.
Let's look at the stats here. Taepyeong-seven, for example. She debuted in a 1996 Shin Sung-hoon music video. She married a lawyer in 2007, and they divorced in 5 months.
Just 5 months. Same kind of sudden crash.
Exactly. And the reports show she had to sell her designer bags just to pay off credit card bills. She even had to take a part-time job at a wedding hall. But the craziest part, the managers there told her to, quote, do it in the corner where you can't be seen.
Ugh, that makes me so mad. But it's that whole culture of, like, saving face. The societal judgment is just extreme. If a fallen star does manual labor, it's considered an embarrassment.
But she fought through it. I mean, she's actually making a major acting comeback right now in JTBC's The Dream Life of Mr. Kim. It was so surprising that even her veteran co-star, Lee Seon-jeong, went on record saying he literally couldn't believe she was cast.
Good for her, honestly, because these women are fighting invisible battles. Look at Seo Yoo-jung. She divorced in February 2023. She publicly confessed she has zero money. People see her and assume she's rich and sends her daughter to all these elite academies, but she literally can't afford a single one.
And she's making her own comeback in KBS2's The Trap of Desire, which is huge. But it really makes me wonder, why do we hold these stars to an impossible standard? It's like expecting a K-drama to never have a plot twist, you know?
Right, from a span perspective, it's wild. When a bias goes on hiatus, international fans just assume they're living a quiet, peaceful, rich life. But domestic K-netz are actively uncovering that these women are fighting for their lives. The pressure to maintain the illusion of wealth is a trap.
Yeah, if they can lose their money overnight, isn't it actually braver to just admit they are broke?
Totally. It breaches that perceived value they have to keep up for casting directors, but it's so much more authentic.
It really is. And if you love staying updated on your favorites and uncovering the real stories behind the visuals, make sure you're subscribed to Starscope K Report. We've got even bigger scoops ahead.
Yeah, definitely hit subscribe because the rabbit hole gets deeper.
It sure does. Because later in the deep dive, we'll talk about the shocking plot twist for the actresses who actually stayed in their billionaire marriages. And trust me, it's a K-drama nobody saw coming.
People always think the billionaire marriage is the ultimate happy ending.
Exactly. You might be sitting there thinking, well, if being a single actress is so hard and bankrupts you, why don't they just marry into extreme wealth?
The classic chaebol CEO trope.
Right. But we are pivoting to the dark reality of tying the knot with tycoons based on these massive financial scandals reported by KBZoom.
Let's look at Jin Ji-hyun.
Oh, the Ice Queen herself. My love from the star is legendary.
Legendary. But her husband lost 15 billion Korean won in a massive crypto hacking scandal.
Wait, 15 billion won? That's insane.
Yeah, and instead of her living the billionaire fairy tale, she actually had to pay 12 billion won out of her own pocket just to secure their luxury apartment.
That makes me so furious. Fandoms always celebrate when their bias marries a CEO. They think she's finally set for life, you know. But the reality is the celebrity just becomes a human shield. Or a literal financial bailout for their husband's failed gambles.
Yeah.
Are these high society marriages actually just like business mergers?
Yeah.
Where the actress's fame is a collateral?
It absolutely feels like a hostile corporate takeover. The idol's public goodwill is just liquidated when the husband makes a mistake.
It happens everywhere. Look at Chinese star Lu Tao. Her husband, Wong Kei, lost everything in the 2009 crash and racked up $57 million in debt.
57 million? How do you even pay that back?
Well, she had to film 25 television dramas in 5 years to pay it off.
25 dramas in 5 years is a physical nightmare. She wasn't acting for art. She was an indentured servant to his debt.
Exactly. And what if the scandal is even worse? Look at Taiwanese star 80 Ann. Her husband was arrested for $1.9 billion in illegal gambling and money laundering. He got sentenced to 13 years in prison and fined $90 million.
Oh my gosh, and what happened to her?
She just completely vanished from public life. Gone.
It's the morality clauses. Agencies drop them instantly. Women who spent decades building their own massive fandoms are just reduced to collateral damage.
It's just a crazy visual to think about, like sparkling diamond rings just dissolving into red ink bank statements and flashing police sirens. It feels less romantic and more like a trap.
It really exposes how toxic the glamour can be.
But, you know, after exploring the devastation of both these sudden divorces and these toxic billionaire marriages, there is actually a silver lining in all this.
Yeah, Korean society and the fandom ecosystem are radically changing their views. It's beautiful, honestly.
It really is. Based on reports from the Korea Times, just a few years ago, a divorce was a career-ending scandal. But now, shows like MBN's Love After Divorce and SBS's Dulcing Foreman are turning divorce stars into variety show gold.
Divorce is no longer a stain. K-netz are finally maturing.
Yeah, Hong Jin-kyung recently revealed she had a, quote, Hollywood-style divorce after 22 years of marriage, and she's still close to her ex-husband.
That would have been unheard of a decade ago.
Right. And look at Shinhwa's Lee Minwoo. He's a first-generation K-pop legend. He announced he's marrying a single mother of a 7-year-old, and the domestic support has been massive.
Even the older fandoms, the people who used to be so possessive, they're growing up. They're choosing to support authenticity over that plastic illusion of a perfect traditional family.
And Sayuri Fujita openly became a single mother via a sperm donor on The Return of Superman. Like, that is a wild shift for the Hallyu wave.
It's a massive shift. People want real life now.
But I do have to ask, if the stigma is fading so much, why did someone like Daybreak's Lee Won-suk wait 2 full years to announce his divorce? Is the fear of the fandom's reaction still stronger than the reality of this social shift?
Well, the agencies are still terrified of that vocal minority, the fans who rent protest trucks and demand people get fired. The culture is relaxing, but the corporate fear is still very real.
Yeah, that makes sense. The industry is in this weird transition phase. And you need to hit that subscribe button right now so you never miss a KT update as we watch this industry evolve in real time.
Please do. It's only going to get more interesting from here.
Definitely. So I want to leave you with a lingering thought today. If the ultimate goal of the K-pop and K-drama machine has always been to sell the illusion of perfection, what happens to the industry when the fans finally realize they prefer broken, authentic reality?
Will agencies like HYBE, SM, and YG start encouraging idols to be open about their flaws, or will the perfect image just become even more heavily guarded?
It's a huge question. You've been listening to Starscope K-Report, where Eric and Minji bring you the stories shaping K-pop, K-dramas, and the global Hallyu wave. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.